Welcome to this episode of the 2021 Festival of Dance. My name is Ingrid Loy, and I'm one of the festival executives this year. I'm currently a U of T alumna, but I spent all 4 years participating in the festival, first as a dancer, then as the executive assistant, and finally as the festival coordinator in 2019 and 2020. The festival was truly a highlight of my university experience, and I'm glad I can still be involved. We are so excited to share with you the diverse range of works that our dancers and choreographers have been working on for the past few months as we celebrate their achievements and continue to provide an avenue for dancers and dance companies to showcase their work. In lieu of being able to come together at Heart House Theater, we wanted to offer the opportunity for a digital platform for sharing new and pre-recorded work, so we made the decision to pivot to the virtual platform. Even though this is a virtual festival, we still wish to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto and Heart House Theatre operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Through creative collaboration and dance, we connect with our Indigenous communities and tell the stories of our past and present that resonate throughout humankind. As we are gathering in this virtual world, please take a moment to acknowledge the land on which you are situated. For more information on your ancestors, no matter where you are, we encourage you to check out native-land.ca. We hope you enjoy this 4th episode.
So I became a part of the Festival of Dance because in first year I volunteered a lot for Heart House shows. I was volunteering on the last show at Heart House that year, which was Titus Andronica's. I was like the light and sound op. And after it ended, I was like, shoot, I needed something to fill the void in my heart. And the only thing kind of that was coming up for Heart House was Festival of Dance. And it was like a week commitment. I was like, you know what? Fine. I did like Irish dance growing up. I have an awareness of what dance is. It'd be cool to like maybe like I was gonna try to ASM for it because I wanted to ASM for a show the following year, and I was like, this will be a good experience. So I applied to be an ASM, and then Alyssa, who was filling in Jillian's role that year, reached out and was like, hey, like we've already kind of done some like ASM related stuff. Do you want to try something new? Because we need an assistant lighting designer. And so I was like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. I kind of did tech in high school a little bit, like with mics and stuff, but I never did lighting at all. So I was like, oh, that'll be cool, learn a new skill, that'll be fun. And then the original lighting designer that year had to drop it. And so I pretty much showed up on the first day of tech and they were like, you're the lighting designer now. And I was like, how do I do that? And so they ran me through like kind of the basics in like the hour or two we had before like people started arriving for their tech. And then I just kind of went for it. And it was really fun, and I really liked it, and I did it the following year, and was supposed to do it the year after, because it was really fun. And that's how I started lighting designing for Festival of Dance. I miss so much about this job. I would say it's different than, like, it's very different from other lighting designer jobs in terms of like theater, because like again, like Festival of Dance is really the only dance show that I've done, like lighting design wise. I've mainly worked for lighting designing in like musicals or plays, and those are very different because you have a team that's like rehearsing for so long, and you kind of you it's still the same thing of like you only really start working around like tech week, but you know, you're there like reading through the script, figuring out the lighting you want, working with the director a little bit beforehand, and then tech week comes and you're in the lighting booth the entire time. Festival of Dance, I missed it because it was just like, it all happened one week. It was like very intense, but very, again, rewarding. And I miss the people because it was just like us chilling in a theater, having so many dancers come in and out, and we get to like see like what they're doing. There were so many different styles of dancing and so many different teams that would like come in, and you know, we'd work with them to figure out the lights. And honestly, like the best memories from Festival of Dance are us, or like putting together the show order in Jillian's office like a week before, and like figuring out like what dances are going to go on which night and how that will look. So my favorite lighting presets, obviously it's gonna have to be the color chasing psych, because that worked out so well. Because again, like it's very hard, every theater is different. I would say like there's basic things that you can do at each theater, but like it's hard to know what is possible and what's not possible, especially from a dancer's perspective who doesn't know a lot about lighting. And so a lot of times people would be like, I want the colors to go crazy, or I want the colors to be all funky here. And that could mean so many different things. But normally what it meant is that they would want like a noticeable, like kind of like oscillating of colors, color changing going on during the music. And the color changing psych was like, the color chasing psych was just the perfect preset for that. A lot of people liked it and made use of it.
my name is Nancy. I am the president of School Dance Club, also known as SDC. So School Dance Club is an engineering dance club, but we are open to everyone at U of T. School Dance Club has been a part of the Festival of Dance for the past 3 years. And this year particularly, we are actually doing 3 numbers. So one of which is a jive number that I am choreographing with Rita. But we also have Janelle, who's teaching a hip hop routine, and Caitlin, who is teaching a K-pop routine. So I think the festival is a great way to showcase the dance community at U of T. And for the past year, I guess, in the previous years that we were a part of the festival, it was definitely very interesting to learn about the technical aspect. So not only your dances, but how with lighting and music and how it just all comes together. This year particularly, it was very important to me to be able to continue, influencing dance and being able to have that dance community even though we're in this current pandemic. So the festival definitely helped to bring together the community again.
Do the thing, man. For real, don't stop. H-word, don't stop. Mbete, don't stop. Come on. They wanna roll like me, do a show like me. Wanna jump in the Ferrari and roll like me. But I know who I be with no ID. So much money, think the bank owe me. Yo, I do the thing now, what you wanna do? I make the music that you bump with your boo. Go away, bring back something just for you. Can't no man stop what we come to do. I've been flying all week, I land for a day. Sit somewhere so I could plan my day. I take it to somewhere like Sandro Pay. And you thought I said San Jose? No way, come on. You know I wouldn't lead you wrong. And you know I wouldn't lead you on. And if everybody telling you to keep it off, who gon' say keep it on? Come on.
So dance and art has always been a part of my life. I've been dancing since I was 5, and it's just a great way to, enhance that work-life balance. And I think nowadays, a lot of us, we have a lot of stress when it comes to school and work and our everyday life. And I think by implementing part of dance or sports or other arts, it definitely helps to balance that out and help us with our mental health.
Wake up and day one 첫날의 아침 조명이 비춰 태양의 눈빛 그 빛은 날 불태웠지 그 빛은 나의 눈 가렸지 뭘 할 건가 꿈을 쫓아 답인 줄 알았어 놀라 수많은 썰 수많은 덜 질문의 숲속을 헤매던 나 어둠 속에 저 빛을 따라왔어 가는 손 너머에 널 부르는 널 부르는 날 운명의 화살비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선 Give it or take it 나의 붉은 눈빛 난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 발을 내디뎌 Give it or take it 난 너에게 걸어가지 저 세계를 연결하지 난 너에게 걸어가지 전 세계에 닿을 때까지 내 하얀 손 건네 내 뒤에 수천 개의 신 내 뒤에 수만 개 불신 너라고 나 꿈을 쫓아 잘 들어 question for life 주어진 것 실체 없어 기묘의 기로에 남겨진 나저 하늘을 우린 기다려왔어 가는 손 너머에 날 부르는 널 부르는 날 운명의 화살비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선 Give it or take it 나의 붉은 눈빛 난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 발을 내디뎌 Give it or take it 나는 랩 올라만 내 손끝은 붉은 빛에 물들어만 가 Gotta go 운명의 와사비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선 나의 붉은 눈빛 난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 발을 내디뎌 난 너에게 걸어가지 전 세계를 연결하지 난 너에게 걸어가지 전 세계에 닿을 때까지 내 하얀 손 To you
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the 2021 Festival of Dance. We hope you enjoyed the performances. I would like to take this time to acknowledge our season sponsors and U of T affinity partners, Manulife, MBNA, and TD Insurance. We would also like to thank Shashwat Sharma and Andrea Wasserman for their contributions to this year's show. Finally, I would like to give a shout out to my fellow team members, Cass and Kimya, for their work in making this festival happen, and especially Mackenzie for editing these episodes together. Thank you once again for your support of our virtual festival this year. Don't forget to keep in touch with us on social media for even more dance content.